Hello everyone and welcome to my next presentation about Chinese characters. This one will be about the Chinese character Ye. The Chinese character Ye is the one that you can see over here in the middle of your screen, and what it means is basically an industry or business or something along those lines, because it's a bit difficult to explain as a standalone character because it's not really a word, it's just a morpheme that appears in words such as 商业, which means business, or 行业, which means an industry of an economy. And so basically this 业is basically a morpheme that is usually related to something that has something to do with business. The character that you see over here is the traditional form of this character, or traditional version. The simplified version is basically only this top element over here, so it's written like this. And I'm sorry for the handwriting, it's a little bit difficult to do on the tablet that I have. And it consists of two elements, and I'm going to try to explain to you what they actually mean. So the first element is this one. And what is interesting about this character is that the two elements that are present in it sort of merge together, and they share this. I'm going to show you what they share. They share this long vertical stroke over here. As you can see, it is shared by both the top element and the bottom element. And there are not that many characters actually. There are relatively, of course, because there are a lot of them, but not that many compared to the sort of more standard Chinese characters that have their elements really nicely separated. So this character in this regard is basically a minority character. And the elements that are in it, the top one, if I remember correctly, is pronounced zhuo, and it is basically a foliage, or the leaves of a plant. And the bottom element is pronounced mu. And it is a tree. Both of them are standalone characters. The top one, I think, is less used, mostly appears as an element in characters, not used as a standalone character anymore. Mu can be found, for instance, in words like 木头, which means wood, but mu as the meaning of a tree does not appear in Chinese today, if I'm correct. It used to have the meaning tree in classical Chinese, but not anymore. Tree today is 树 in modern Chinese today. So to explain and to understand why these two elements are in this character is quite hard. I was looking at the explanations, but I wasn't really sure if I understood them correctly, and I think from what I've read, also the scholars that were doing some research on is they're not sure as to why these two elements are present in this character. Some say that the leaves represent the deeds of a man, and thus pointing somehow to his business or to the industry that he works in. Maybe, I don't know. Let me show you how to write this character. So first the traditional one and then the simplified one. So contrary to what you might think, you do not start with this dian, with this dotted stroke. You first go the first vertical one and then the second vertical one, because you go from left to right, so you preserve the order. And then again from left to right, you do the two strokes that are over here. Remember, this stroke and this stroke are two different stroke types. This one is a dian stroke, or just a dotted stroke, which is written from left to right, but it really should be only a dot technically, but in reality it never is. And the stroke on the right is a pie stroke, which in its long form is written like this. So this is only its very abbreviated form, and it looks like this, and it is, but you know, the order of the writing is preserved, so you write from right to left. So you continue 1, 2, then you do the long horizontal stroke, and then again the same thing you had over here. So one dian stroke and one ps stroke. You have the same thing over here, 1, 2, and this is where the tricky part comes. You do the first horizontal one, the second horizontal one, and the third horizontal one, then the vertical, then the left, and then the right one. It's a bit tricky. One thing to look out for, and when it comes to these three horizontal strokes, is that the middle one is the shortest, The top one is the second longest, even though you can't really see it over here that well, and then the bottom one is the longest one, and it has to be shorter than this one over here, so it looks all nice, proportionate and everything. Because this top stroke actually is sort of like, should be in parallel with these sort of legs of the tree, or the two strokes of the bottom element of the whole character. So let me do that one more time. So there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And there you have it. So that was it for this character. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I will see you in the next one.